machine and expect that person not to feel anything? So the system that you have to create like that has to create this enormous amount of force and violence and intimidation. So running away from slavery was a crime. What's today? What did the cops say when they shoot you down? Oh, he was running away, but you shot the man was running away. I felt threatened.
Resisting arrest.
He was resisting arrest. I felt threatened. How did you feel threatened with somebody running away from you? And I remember you got 2 guns, a baton, a laser, a taser, mace. I mean, seriously? All homeboy got is his gym shoes and a hoodie. You know? So we need to understand that this diminution of black flesh is reflected in the prison system. You know, for every 1 inmate in most prisons, it takes 6 correctional personnel have a job. So if you got 2.5 million people under lock and key, multiply that by 6. And look how many people got a job off of that 2.5 million. And where are those prisons located? Yahoo, Wisconsin.
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Way out in Jersey Meadows somewhere. And who got the jobs out there? The people that service the prison. And when the census comes in to take the census in the hood in Newark, and they ask how many people are living in this household, there's 2 of them in the prisons upstate, but the people there don't count them. They say there's only 3 of us here. But it's actually 5, but they live in upstate. So when they take the census upstate and they ask how many people are in this county, they count the prisoners. And they get the money. And they get the demographics. You fools don't get nothing.
That's 3/5 of a human being. Back to Electoral College.
You see? Back to the Electoral College. 3/5 of a human being. Constitution said it. Remember the settlers? Remember OGW and them? They said every man is created equal except who? And what are they? 3/5 of a human being. So black lives ain't never mattered. It was always mind over matter. They didn't mind, we didn't matter. So now, when you have a movement of young folks like yourself, of a generation like yourself, to step forward and say, look, we tired of this. You know, our lives matter, and black lives matter, and that's got to be the priority here. It happened after Trayvon. It happened after Ferguson. There's a lot of politics to it. There's a lot of ways that can be encapsulated, but understand this. That when you disassociate yourself from your own radical history, you have to reinvent it. You have to reinvent it. Don't act like black folks didn't stand in front of the Ku Klux Klan with guns, because we did. But now you talked about, you know, turn your gun in. The church would turn your gun in. You talk about black on black crime. They didn't start talking about black on black crime until 1966 and 65, when the cities in America were being burned in rebellion every summer. And then they trotted out some folks from the Urban League and from these different preachers to say, how are we going to be mad at the white man when we're killing each other? And there we go. You see? So what does Trump say? Well, we're going to take care of Chicago. Chicago's terrible. You see? Even the cultural icons like Spike Lee makes movies like Chirac. A melding of 2 realities that have nothing to do with each other. The reality of Iraq and the U.S. invasion of Iraq and what it stood for, and geopolitically how it mattered, how the Saddam Hussein mattered, how it was used against Iran, how the Saudis used it. All of this was that they had to do. Chicago ain't had nothing to do with but some racist cops murdering and killing black folks, and absentee landlords, and people who can't get a job, and people who are living in inner cities trapped with no future. They had nothing to do with Iraq. So the name of the movie Chirac simply because the body count in Chicago is same as the body count in Iraq is absurd. Hundreds of thousands and millions of people